What is happening there at this point in time?
Marumo, thank you very much. Yes, we are broadcasting to you live from NASREC, where we enter day 3 of the ANC's National Policy Conference, where obviously the party is busy rearranging itself in preparation for the next few years, or in preparation for the December elective conference, and then obviously at least the next 10 years thereafter. I am joined now by the chairperson of Gauteng, Mr. Paul Mashatile. Sir, thank you very much and good morning.
Good morning, Marumo.
The first 2 days of the conference, what do you make of them?
Well, I think so far so good. We are in commissions now. As you know, we are discussing strategy and tactics and organizational renewal. The main debates really are around the issues of monopoly capital and issues of organizational design. These commissions are going to go up to this evening. Hopefully, when we report by Tuesday, we would have found a formulation that we all agree on. There is no disagreement from many delegates that monopoly capital is a problem. It creates uncompetitive behavior in the market, barriers to entry, it skews development. But there is another debate whether or not you can introduce the concept of monopoly capital. So that debate is still continuing, but obviously is not to die for. It's really a question of formulation.
Mr. Mashatile, before we get into the conversation on the issues of monopoly capital, whether or not it's white or black or any, let me just kind of zoom into the issue of organizational renewal to start off with. On Friday, the Secretary General, Gwede Mantashe, tabled the organizational report, an organizational report that basically had a diagnosis that at the moment the ANC is a very sick patient. Where do you start to try and bring it back to health? How do you start to renew the organization?
Well, I think the first thing is to accept that there are those problems. I think the attitude of many delegates is that the Secretary General was very frank. He raised issues that are a problem, and all of us accept that, because if you have to fix the ANC, you must start by accepting that there are problems. And I think that's what conference has done. By accepting that document by the SG, we are accepting that there are these problems and therefore we must deal with them. So this afternoon, in the main, we'll be dealing with those issues. And one of the strong views coming around is that we need to strengthen the organization, head office. We need to reorganize the way we elect leaders and all sort of things. But at the end of the day, we need to bring back the integrity of the ANC. We need to reconnect with the people. So those are the things that delegates are accepting should be done.
The state in which the ANC finds itself at the moment didn't happen overnight. It was, may have been decades. I would then imagine that to fix some of the issues would take quite a long time as well. Do you get the sense that delegates are in this for the long haul?
Most definitely. We have an elective conference in December. Some of these policies are going directly there. I think delegates of the ANC are prepared to fix the ANC. There's a lot of determination. You can see the seriousness in which people are discussing in commissions. We want to come out of this conference with an ANC that is going to be able to tackle the challenges that our people are raising, reconnect with our people, win back the confidence of South Africans.
One of the things, unfortunately, we've been barred from the sessions inside, so we can only go on, on the little bits that we pick up here and there. One of the issues was that yesterday, there were quite intense discussions about that organizational report, whether or not it was supposed to have been tabled or at least put before conference. Isn't it funny that, we're sitting here whether the ANC is debating whether or not a report by the Secretary General must be tabled before conference? Isn't that a side issue, my question? Isn't that a side issue that actually distracts from the actual issues that the ANC should be dealing with?
Yes, there were delegates who were of the view that perhaps that report should not be tabled at that point in conference. Some of them were not saying they are not necessarily against the report, but that we rather should focus on policies. But other delegates said, well, because we have challenges in an organization, this can't be a normal policy conference. We need to deal with the issues affecting the organization first. And that view was supported by the majority of delegates, and therefore the report was tabled.
All right. Let's now quickly move on to the issue of monopoly capital. The white monopoly capital, as we've heard in the lead up to the conference, there were claims that it was a term that was coined by the Guptas, or at least people that were related to them, and that is now quite an issue within the ANC, the issue of the Gupta leaked emails and everything that has come from that. How much of an issue are those emails, are the issue of white monopoly capital, and how much of those are being addressed in the sessions inside?
Well, I would like to separate the debate on monopoly capital from the Guptas, because this concept was also used by some of our leaders before, but we start on the basis that it's not in the strategy and tactics document of the ANC. In fact, as early as 2007, when we adopted strategy and tactics, we only dealt with monopoly capital, same as Mangaung. So it is a new formulation that is being introduced to emphasize the issue of white monopoly capital. The base documents of the ANC deal with the issue that monopoly capital is a primary enemy of the National Democratic Revolution, and therefore it should be tackled as such. There are some delegates who are saying, yes, we agree, but because of the structure of the South African economy, you do have to emphasize the element of white monopoly capital. That debate is going on, but generally delegates agree that the main issue is monopoly capital, because monopolies by their very nature are uncompetitive. As I said earlier, they are not good for economies, and in my view, it doesn't matter whether a company that has monopoly tendencies is owned by black people or whites, or in some instances even state companies can be a problem if they are a monopoly. But that debate is going on. I think it should be delinked from the Guptas.
All right. And then, sir, just before I let you go, what are 2-3 very key issues that Gauteng wants to see come out of this policy conference?
Well, firstly, we think that we should come up with strong focus on implementation. We think there are a lot of good policies. The issue of radical economic transformation obviously is going to get a lot of focus by Monday, and we want to see more emphasis on changing the structure of the South African economy, de-racialize the economy, get more black people into the mainstream of the economy, make sure that there are strong proposals for support for small businesses, financing for entrepreneurs, and very strong programs for building black industrialists. We also want the government to push faster issues of land redistribution, of course, within parameters of the Constitution and the legal framework, and of course support for education and skills. Those are going to be very important issues in the coming week.
All right, sir. Just literally my final question to you. As the chairperson of Gauteng, would like your opinion on some of the issues that are prevailing in Mashatile City.
Well, in Mashatile City, I had given the municipality some time to pass the budget and the IDPs, and then indicated that they have to elect the mayor. They have now done so. They have elected the mayor there and the new speaker. I have noticed that they have not passed the budget. So it's something that I'll attend to in the coming week, because the municipality can't operate if it doesn't pass the budget and IDPs. We may have then to intervene accordingly in terms of legislation. What
does such intervention, what would such intervention require? What would it entail?
We are looking at all possibilities. The speaker, the new mayor has written to me to say I should give them another 14 days for them to reconvene. I will do so. But beyond that, if they can't, the law prescribed that the provincial government can intervene to be able to get the municipality to pass the budget, and also to some extent you may be able to take over the administration. We'll look into those things.
All right. Sir, thank you very much for your time. We really do appreciate you joining us here this morning.
Okay.
Go
Thank you
well.
very much.
We understand. That was Mr. Paul Mashatile, the chairperson of Gauteng, talking to us about the region's expectations for conference, for conference, and what are some of the issues that they would like to see. He also addressed the issues of Khayelitsha City municipality, and just some of the issues there that will require his urgent attention during the week. I am now joined by Mr. Phumulo Maswale, who